Trump's nomination has drawn global attention. Do you think this campaign is about his legacy, legitimacy, or both?
Well, first, Mr. Haney, thank you for having me today, and greetings to your viewers. And what we have seen is not just President Trump, but many of his acolytes have been pressing for President Trump to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. Um, it is very doubtful that President Trump will receive the Nobel Prize this year. And this is really based on the criteria that the Nobel Committee uses, such as promoting democracy, promoting peace efforts, promoting an end to wars. And indeed, if we look at more recent Nobel Peace Prize winners, for example, last year, it was the Peace Prize was rewarded to a group out of Japan who works to end nuclear armament and works to end the risk of nuclear war. And essentially, based on Trump's performance so far in the first 8 months, 9 months now of his second term, we have seen that Trump believes that he has resolved many, many conflicts. I believe he said he's resolved 7 wars by now. But indeed, people can argue that many of these wars, for example, India and Pakistan, they have their deterrents. They were on their way to resolving that conflict. But essentially, what we do know is that Trump really wants the Peace Prize. However, his efforts so far have not been constructive and positive steps towards attaining any type of peace. Indeed, what we've seen is Trump has appeared to just go along with ongoing war efforts. We've seen that he has not ended the war in Ukraine in 24 hours or 100 days or 6 months. Indeed, that war looks as though it's progressing towards a long-term conflict. We see the EU is planning the Ukraine war 5 years out into 2028, 2030. So Trump's efforts with Ukraine are not going to yield a Nobel Peace Prize. Trump's efforts in Gaza and Palestine have been all over the place. And essentially, it appears to the American people that Trump has ceded his authority or his influence in Palestine and the Middle East to Benjamin Netanyahu. And indeed, we may even see war with Iran by the end of this year or early in 2026. So the peace situation across the world is it's very chaotic, and it does not appear that Trump's efforts so far have yielded any meaningful steps towards peace. His boasts of the other conflicts he has resolved, many people believe that those conflicts were resolving on their own prior to Trump's efforts. And with his tariffs, secondary tariff sanctions, we see economic chaos and energy insecurity spreading throughout the world. So Trump has a very good PR department. He has a very good public relations department. He's very good at promoting himself. But at this point, as far as the American people are concerned, he has been somewhat of a disappointment to the American people and to his voters with respect to his promises made and the facts on the ground now as far as world peace. So when the Nobel Committee announces their candidate, their recipient of this year's Nobel Peace Prize, it does not appear that Trump will be on it, and it will be a surprise who they do nominate.
Yes.
Of course, and they cannot do posthumous nominations.
Well, Ms. Chapman, his supporters are actually echoing his claim of ending the 7 wars. How credible is that claim from an international law perspective? Forget about the supporters, forget about the public opinion. From an international law perspective, is it credible?
Yes, well, when we look at specific conflicts, once again, India, Pakistan, They are both nuclear powers. They have their own deterrent built in. Many people feel that India-Pakistan conflict was on the road to resolution. Trump perhaps just bullied them a little farther along. When we look at other conflicts such as Armenia and Azerbaijan, that superficially appears to have been resolved, but we do know that there are undercurrents beneath the surface there that are still pushing for their own agendas. And and so indeed, when we do look at the other conflicts that Trump jumped into and then declared were resolved, they may not really bolster his contention that he resolved them. He may have just pushed them over the line towards a resolution. And indeed, it's the larger conflicts that have the risk of escalating into a wider war, specifically Ukraine and Russia, and Israel and Iran. Those are the conflicts that are the most important right now, and those are the conflicts that Trump has not been able to reach any sort of progress in. And indeed, when we look at Trump's tactics to resolve conflicts, he attacks whatever the superficial argument is about, but he does not really resolve the root causes of those conflicts. So he sort of can superficially gloss over the symptoms, but not address the root causes, not address the underlying inequities, not address any military imbalances, economic imbalances. So in a sense, Trump is sort of glossing over the causes of conflicts and intimidating or forcing the parties into a superficial agreement. And it remains to be seen what happens with these 7 wars that Trump claims to have stopped. And also events are proceeding apace. Events could be getting ahead of Trump. For example, we now see that Pakistan has signed a security agreement with Saudi Arabia. And we see that other countries in the global south, in Asia, in the Middle East, are figuring out their own security arrangements outside of the United States. And this is because of America's other actions as far as sanctions they're driving alternative economic arrangements and alternative security arrangements with the world. So instead of Trump gaining a Nobel Peace Prize, America itself may be losing global influence on the world stage.